although I got hurt real bad, I think it was the 5th round. To tell the truth, I didn't really think I was going to make it.
Jimmy Young was boxing's most underrated defensive genius who possessed incredible movement and ring intelligence that frustrated every power puncher he faced. The Philadelphia Master could make the most dangerous knockout artists look helpless by avoiding their biggest shots while landing precise counterpunches that accumulated damage over 12 rounds. Young's brilliant boxing skills should have earned him heavyweight championship recognition, but the boxing establishment consistently overlooked his technical superiority in favor of more exciting brawlers. Promoters preferred aggressive fighters who delivered spectacular knockouts over defensive artists who won through superior boxing ability. The crafty veterans survived devastating punches from legendary knockout specialists and then outboxed them completely, yet somehow lost controversial decisions that cost him deserved title opportunities. Many heavyweight contenders avoided Young because his slick style made dangerous fighters look ordinary, without providing entertaining action for television audiences. Young's frustrating career created lasting resentment toward opponents who received better treatment despite inferior boxing skills. Some fighters disrespected his defensive mastery by claiming he was boring to watch, while others used their promotional advantages to steal victories he clearly earned through superior performance. These 6 boxers earned Jimmy Young's permanent hatred through unfair advantages, disrespectful treatment, and controversial decisions that denied him the heavyweight championship recognition his exceptional boxing abilities truly deserved. 6. George Foreman. At number 6 is George Foreman, the devastating puncher who received immediate title shots and promotional opportunities that Jimmy Young never got, despite proving his superiority through their controversial encounter.
In Toronto against the frightful Todd. Now Foreman fighting back. Oh, Foreman is in trouble.
Foreman represented everything wrong with heavyweight boxing politics, where knockout power mattered more than actual boxing skill and ring intelligence. The former champion returned from his lengthy retirement to massive fanfare and instant championship consideration, while Young struggled to get fair recognition for consistently outboxing elite heavyweights. Foreman's comeback story captured media attention that overlooked more deserving contenders who had remained active. Their clash exposed the fundamental bias in heavyweight boxing, when Young clearly outboxed the aging puncher but somehow lost a questionable majority decision. The veteran defensive master had neutralized Foreman's power completely, while landing cleaner, more accurate punches throughout their entire contest.
His knees buckled. He is down. He is down for the 4th time in the fight. George Foreman is doing.
Young felt cheated by judges who seemed more impressed by Foreman's reputation than his actual ring performance. The controversial scorecards represented typical prejudice against defensive fighters who didn't provide the violent entertainment that casual fans preferred. Foreman's dismissive post-fight comments about Young's boring style added insult to injury after the questionable verdict. The former champion acted like his controversial victory was a dominant performance, instead of acknowledging that Young had outboxed him systematically. 5. Ron Lyle. At number 5 is Ron Lyle, the explosive Denver fighter who benefited from sympathy and promotional support that Jimmy Young never received despite possessing superior technical skills and ring intelligence. Lyle's inspiring comeback story from prison rehabilitation captured public imagination, while Young's consistent excellence went largely unnoticed. The dangerous contender received better matchmaking and television exposure because his aggressive style created more exciting fights for audiences who preferred violence over technical boxing mastery.
Lyle caught him with a good left. Now George struck back. Now George fought back.
Young's defensive brilliance made fights look easy, which hurt his marketability compared to Lyle's warrior approach. Their competitive rivalry frustrated Young because boxing experts acknowledged his superior boxing skills, yet somehow Lyle received better championship opportunities. The promotional machine favored fighters who guaranteed action over defensive specialists who controlled fights through movement and accuracy. Young felt disrespected when Lyle made public statements suggesting defensive fighters were afraid to engage in real battles. The Denver Warrior claimed that Young's slick style proved he lacked the courage to stand and exchange punches with genuine heavyweights. The cultural bias toward aggressive fighters created systematic disadvantages for technical boxers like Young, who excelled at making dangerous opponents look ordinary. Lyle represented the promotional preference for entertaining brawlers over skilled craftsmen who won through superior boxing knowledge.
But it would have been nice. I would have liked to got a $1 million payday, you know.
Young's frustration grew watching less skilled fighters receive opportunities he deserved based on pure boxing ability. The heavyweight division's emphasis on knockout power and aggressive action consistently overlooked defensive masters who could neutralize any style through superior technique and ring awareness. 4. Ernie Shavers. At number 4 is Ernie Shavers, the legendary puncher who gained widespread respect and championship opportunities, while Jimmy Young's superior boxing performance against him went largely unrecognized by the boxing establishment.
Twice in the round there, Shavers got through.
Shavers represented the promotional bias toward knockout artists over technical masters who could neutralize devastating power. The Ohio Destroyer received constant praise for his incredible punching ability, while Young's defensive genius that completely frustrated Shavers got minimal recognition. Boxing fans preferred discussing Shavers' knockout highlights over Young's brilliant performance that made the feared puncher look helpless. Their encounter showcased Young's exceptional ability to neutralize raw power through superior movement and ring intelligence. Yet somehow the boxing community focused more on Shavers' reputation than Young's masterful display. The defensive specialist had solved the puzzle that terrorized every other heavyweight contender. Young felt bitter about the aftermath because Shavers continued receiving title eliminator opportunities, while his own brilliant victory was treated as just another win. The boxing media seemed more interested in preserving Shavers' knockout legend than acknowledging Young's technical superiority. Shavers' popularity with casual fans created unfair advantages in promotional consideration and television coverage.
I got like 250 rounds of boxing for this fight, more boxing than I had from Muhammad Ali.
The puncher's exciting style guaranteed better matchmaking opportunities compared to Young's methodical approach that impressed boxing purists but bored general audiences. Young resented how the heavyweight division valued entertainment over actual boxing excellence. His systematic dismantling of boxing's most feared puncher should have established him as the division's premier technician, yet somehow Shavers maintained a higher profile and better opportunities. 3. Ken Norton. At number 3 is Ken Norton, the muscular champion who received favorable treatment and questionable decisions that Jimmy Young believed cost him deserved recognition in the heavyweight division. Norton's impressive physique and aggressive style made him a promotional favorite, despite Young's superior boxing skills and ring intelligence.
Norton in the blue. Quarry in the green. Short right uppercut by Quarry. A left and a right.
The former Marine benefited from championship politics and promotional advantages that consistently worked against defensive specialists like Young. Norton's marketable image and warrior reputation earned him opportunities that more skilled technical fighters couldn't access regardless of their actual boxing abilities. Their battles frustrated Young because he believed his superior boxing performance deserved better scorecards than the close decisions that somehow favored Norton. The defensive master had controlled their encounters through exceptional movement and accurate counterpunching that should have impressed judges more than Norton's physical advantages. Young felt cheated by the boxing establishment's preference for champions who looked like fighters rather than those who actually boxed better. Norton's muscular build and aggressive approach appealed to casual fans who didn't appreciate the subtle brilliance of defensive mastery. Young became convinced that the heavyweight division rewarded image over substance when evaluating championship contenders. Norton's ability to generate excitement and media attention gave him systematic advantages that technical boxers couldn't overcome regardless of their superior ring performance and boxing intelligence. 2. Muhammad Ali. At number 2 is Muhammad Ali, The legendary champion who survived Jimmy Young's brilliant boxing display and then dismissed the defensive master's performance as boring entertainment that didn't deserve championship consideration. Ali represented the promotional machine that valued charisma over pure boxing excellence when determining heavyweight hierarchy.
And Ali all the way in the 12th round with the 3 judges.
The greatest heavyweight received every advantage and promotional benefit, while Young's exceptional technical skills went unrecognized by a boxing establishment that preferred entertaining personalities over defensive specialists. Ali's media savvy and crossover appeal created insurmountable advantages for any challenger. Their championship fight showcased Young's incredible ability to outbox even the most skilled heavyweight in history, yet somehow the decision and aftermath focused more on Ali's survival than Young's masterful performance. The defensive genius had controlled large portions of their encounter through superior ring intelligence. Young felt betrayed by Ali's post-fight comments that dismissed his boxing excellence as unexciting action that fans didn't want to watch. The champion's dismissive attitude toward defensive mastery represented everything frustrating about boxing politics that favored entertainment over technical brilliance. Ali's popularity and promotional power meant that even losing rounds to Young somehow enhanced the champion's legend while diminishing the challenger's accomplishments. The boxing media seemed determined to protect Ali's reputation rather than acknowledge Young's exceptional performance. Young realized that defeating Ali meant nothing if the boxing establishment refused to recognize superior boxing ability. The legendary champion's influence extended far beyond the ring into promotional and media relationships that systematically disadvantaged technical fighters who couldn't generate equivalent excitement or mainstream appeal. 1. Larry Holmes. At number 1 is Larry Holmes, the Easton assassin who became Jimmy Young's most bitter enemy through personal betrayal and systematic avoidance that denied the defensive master his deserved championship opportunities. Holmes had trained extensively with Young and knew exactly how difficult the Philadelphia boxer's slick style could be for any heavyweight.
And he better not leave it down. He better keep it up in the face of this guy.
The future champion used his promotional connections and political influence to avoid giving Young the title shot that his impressive record and technical excellence clearly warranted. Holmes understood that Young's defensive mastery posed genuine threats to any champion who preferred facing more predictable opposition. Their relationship soured completely when Holmes started making public statements that diminished Young's boxing accomplishments and suggested the defensive specialist was afraid to engage in real championship battles. The personal betrayal hurt Young more than any controversial decision because Holmes knew the truth about his abilities. Young felt devastated by Holmes's deliberate campaign to damage his championship credentials through political maneuvering and promotional manipulation. The future champion used insider knowledge from their training sessions to avoid the stylistic nightmare that Young's defensive skills represented. Holmes's systematic avoidance represented the worst aspects of heavyweight politics, where personal relationships and promotional considerations determined championship opportunities rather than actual boxing merit. Young had proven his superiority against elite competition, yet somehow couldn't secure the title shot his record demanded. The bitter feud symbolized Young's frustrating career where exceptional boxing ability couldn't overcome political disadvantages and promotional bias. Holmes's betrayal proved that even personal relationships meant nothing when championship opportunities conflicted with promotional convenience and political expediency. Young's defensive brilliance couldn't overcome heavyweight politics and promotional bias. These rivalries exposed boxing's preference for entertainment over technical excellence. Subscribe for more stories about underrated boxing legends.